Greetings and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Neverwinter Nights. Alright, so we just finished the trial. Let's go collect our rewards.
Hail to ye!
You are called upon to do the duty in administering the justice of Tyr's court, Malcolm. The church is grateful for you answered the call. Your performance at the trial was truly amazing, Malcolm. A unanimous verdict. Such an overwhelming result will do much to quell any rumblings among the Lords of Alliance soldiers over the outcome of the trial. For your exemplary service, you have earned the undying gratitude of the Temple of Tyr. Please accept this token as a sign of my own appreciation in the spectacular job you have done in the service of Tyr. Yay! Now, is there anything else I can do for you, Malcolm? No, I'll be going now. Then go with Tyr's blessing. I will certainly do that. Is there anything I've forgotten? The host tower lab notes. I'm not entirely sure why you think that would be necessary, but I will. It's not like it's the only useless junk in my inventory I have not picked up. Alright, let's go have a talk with Rogan. He should be back with his tribe now. I'm sure they're very appreciative of my hard labor.
I, Under Hardfoot, greet you. Your name is well known among us. For it was you who stood forth to defend Rolgan at his trial. You bring honor to yourself and your ancestors.
We are not people of material possessions. The only reward I can give you is the gratitude of a tribe. But if there is something else I can do for you, I only ask and it shall be done. No, that's not anything I need from you.
Greetings!
Alright, so you're not gonna say anything.
Greetings to you.
Welcome, Malcolm. On behalf of the Black Lion Ulfgard tribe, let me extend my thanks for your efforts on behalf of Rogan at his trial. I was just happy to help. I did much when the others of the Lord's Alliance did nothing. For that you are ever a friend to the people of the Black Lion. You're welcome to explore the tribe again. Yeah. There's not much here to see, after all. Well, it seems like Rogan is pissed off. Well, that's actually fine. Because there's much other stuff I could do. Like go back to Erikson Lodge over here. Because it's time for the Henchman quest pickup. Tommy, if you would be so kind as to join me over here, please.
Eh? What can Tommy do for you?
I just want to talk. Oh? What do you have in mind, my lord? Have you always been a rogue, Tommy? Funny you'd ask that, my lord. I was an urchin on the streets of Kalimport first and foremost. And that's where I learned my street smarts. But I wasn't always that way. In fact, when I was a tender young lad, a kindly human wizard saw great promise in me and took me in. I was his apprentice, in fact, for quite some time. That's where I met my best friend Sammy, after all. He was another apprentice. I would have been a full wizard myself, if things hadn't worked out. You have an intelligence of 12. You would not have been a very great wizard. You? A wizard? You must be joking. You're making fun of me now, aren't you, my lord? It's true, though. When it came to books and studying, I may as well have been a shogun in the desert. So again, a shark kind. Sharkman. And that wizard, what was his name? Halasa? He saw something in me that I never saw. Said I would make a wizard whether I liked it or not. I thought I would make a wonderful thief if I could be invisible and fly all around all the time. I couldn't wait. Halasar had all these pretty things in this tower, unfortunately. So you stole them. Of course I stole them. What kind of rogue do you think I am? Got a good price on the streets too. Even Halasar beat me black and blue by the time I returned. Once I swiped Halasar's spellbook and sold that for a pretty price, boy was that old man furious. There was a storm brewing around this tower by the time I got back. Of course I had to lie and say that Sammy took the book. Come to think of it, that's how Sammy got a kick out of his apprenticeship. You got your friend kicked out? Well, he wasn't much of a wizard, and old Sammy wasn't my friend back then anyway. I made it up to him by becoming his pal later, once I stopped being an apprentice. The end of my apprenticeship is quite the story itself. I should tell you that sometime, my lord, if you're interested. That would be late though. Right now we got a sleep to say, right? Now let's see if you want to talk more.
What can Tommy do for you?
Let's just talk. Want you to continue the story from before. Maybe later. Alright, well, I need a level first. Let's begin. Dalen.
Greetings and well met. It is good to look upon you once more. No doubt Aaron Gend has brought you here to aid in the search for the words of power.
It is good to see you again, Dalen Red Tiger. After Erebeth's betrayal, I meant to travel to the north in search of a quest to prove myself to the tribe. Yet even as we parted ways, I suspected we would meet once more, Malcolm. And then I heard of Eriksen's call for all those who would serve the cause of Neverwinter to join the Lord's Alliance here at Bioware's Well. A holy place to the Uthgard. I thought it might be a sign from my gods. After all you have done for Neverwinter, I knew you would come, you would be here, Malcolm. That's why I came, to join with you once more. I feel our fates are bound together. Do you know anything about the words of power, Dalen? I have heard nothing about these words. The recent events concerning the Uthgard Elk Tribe are really worth investigating. How so? The Elk Tribe has allied itself with the Luskan forces. As incredible as it sounds, they have attacked Fort Ilgard and the settlers' farms to the south. I am of the Red Tiger tribe, but there are values and beliefs common to all Uthgard people. We are warriors and hunters, not bloodthirsty savages. The Uthgard are a people of honor. I believe some evil force is at work, a dark taint that has polluted the noble spirit of the Elk tribe. There can be no other explanation for their actions. I only mention the Elk tribe because you asked, Malcolm. If you allow me to join, you want to know more, I will of course follow whatever you choose to go. Alright, you can join up.
Yes? Is there something you need?
I just want to talk. My strength is in weapons, not words, Malcolm. I wouldn't mind knowing your thoughts on Erebeth's betrayal. Why do you think she did it? There are some who claim Erebeth betrayed Neverwinter out of grief. Others say she seeks to avenge Fentik's death out of some perverse sense of justice. There are even those who say she was driven mad by Fentik's execution, and is not aware what she's doing. But I think something else drives her now. What do you think her reason is? Neverwinter turned its back on her. The city rejected her, and its people cast her out. There is no pain so great as being turned away by those who most want to take you in. What are you talking about? They never turned her out. Perhaps not, but Erebeth no doubt felt that they did. The people blamed Fentik enough to kill him. How could she not feel they despised her as well? And then Lord Nasher sent her to Port Last with Erengend. It was obvious Lord Nasher wanted an excuse to send her away from the city. No doubt he thought it was best to calm the people and keep Erebeth from suffering their wrath as Fentik had. But in her grief, she would have seen it as a cold and brutal rejection. A symbolic banishment. Sounds like you think she was justified. I'm not saying that what Erebeth did was right, or even justified. But there is a tale among the Ulfgard, an ancient legend of consequences and betrayal. Panther's execution and Erebus' betrayal remind me of a tale of my own people. I only hope Neverwinter does not suffer the same fate as the Ulfgard. What fate would that be? Perhaps later I will tell you the tale, but now is not the time for me to speak of this. We must focus on finding the words of power for Erikson if we are to save Neverwinter. Alright. Body
Hello,
knock.
it is I, Body Knock Glinkle. It is good to see a friendly face in these unfamiliar surroundings.
It's good to see you again, Body Knock. I have to admit, I'm not surprised to find you here at Bioware as well, Malcolm. Given your previous record of service, it was only logical to conclude that you would be among those recruited by Neverwinter's spy master to aid his cause. That is partly why I chose to come here, Malcolm. I have found our previous experience together to be very enlightening. Do you know anything about the words of power, Body Knock? I doubt I can help you there, Malcolm. All I know of this area is limited to the accounts of Lantanese explorers detailing the hills to the north of Bioware as well. Well, tell me about these accounts. As you know, the love of exploration and the thrill of discovery are traits shared by all the people of Lantan. Whenever one of our people visits a foreign land, they make an account of all their experience. These accounts are added to the great library of Lantan, so that all our people can be enlightened. A few years ago, a gnome named Hirogo... Apologies. Named Hirogo Wanderlust returned to my island with an account of his region. The majority of his time was spent exploring the hills to the north of Bioware as well, secretly observing the habits and activities of the giants who make their home there. Giants? Oh yes, we have no giants on Lantern, so my people are fascinated by them. Erik's research is most detailed, is the most detailed account we have had to date on these remarkable creatures. The subjects he was studying, hill giants, were the exact species, if I remember closely or correctly, had actually chosen a king from among their numbers, and this king had united several bands of giants into a single powerful tribe. They had even constructed a great stadium to house the king, and from there they raided the lands to the south until Herigo's research he assumed hill giants to be incapable of such high-level organization. Anything else? Most of Herigo's research was of the scientific nature: diet, mating habits, activity cycles, habitat and territory range. Academically compelling, but hardly useful in your mission, I'm afraid. I would love to see these giants before I leave the north, Malcolm. Though I would know my own wants must be set aside until after the words of power are found. Oh, let's join with me then. To be honored, yep.
Is there something you need?
Let's just talk. Alright. Let's talk to you about Erebus' betrayal. How do you feel about it? Erebus' betrayal has caused me no account of confusion, Malcolm. On the one hand, her actions appear irrational and illogical. She has vowed to destroy the city she spent her life protecting. But on the other hand, isn't it logical to assume a warrior will want to avenge the death of her lover? And what about Ventek's death, which caused her all this mess? His execution made no sense. He was not an enemy of the city, and had he lived, he would have done everything in his power to help Neverwinter to make up for what he had done. What purpose is there in killing a man who is only going to be your ally in the future? Such irrational behavior is difficult for me to understand, Malcolm. By the letter of the law, Ventek's actions were deserving of execution. The law has to be obeyed. I am the law. In Lantern we bow to the laws of reason and logic. Emotion can never be truly factored out in any decision, but we do our best to look at the facts with a dispassionate eye before taking action. I suppose in that sense we are quite different from many of the other cultures of Faerun. We have to familiarize ourselves with these strange lands in hope to integrate Lantern into the mainland society. Integrate? What are you talking about? Lantern is an island. By geography, we are isolated from the rest of the world. Over the centuries, this has led to an insular culture, particularly among my people, the gnomes. You consider yourself safely removed from the troubles of the mainland. We have been fascinated observers of the history of Faerun. As befits our analytical mindset, we chose not to be active participants in events. Recently, however, our culture has embarked upon a radical journey of change, a revolutionary shift in our entire belief system. Soon, perhaps, even in our own lifetime, Lantern will become an important part of life in the realms. What are you talking about? Some kind of invasion? We are thinkers, inventors, and academics, Malcolm, not soldiers. We plan to bring our culture and beliefs to Faerun through peaceful means, though we are proceeding in a rational and logical fashion. Before we attempt to introduce ourselves into this existing order, we must study and analyze the current political and cultural realities in an organized and thorough fashion. Could you expect anything less, given our nature? No, I fully expect you to follow the prime directive there. Why the sudden change in ideology? As you can imagine, a revolution of this magnitude must be precipitated by an astonishing event. Without a significant catalyst, there cannot be a significant reaction. In our case, the catalyst is a single wondrous event. The day the god-gone Wonderbringer washed up on the shores of Lantern in mortal form. Oh, you're referring to the time of troubles, aren't you? You are right, Malcolm. I'm speaking of the time of troubles, when the gods were forced to take mortal form and walk among us. I would share the tale with you, but the story of gone Wonderbringer's time on Lantern is a long one, Malcolm. Perhaps I will speak more of this later, but now's not the time. Let's get back to the words of power search. Grimnor! Let's
The
talk.
fires of war are burning on the horizon. Why am I not surprised to see you here to forge your blood-drenched legacy in the furnace of slaughter?
I'm getting sick of seeing your ugly mug every time I turn around. I serve the Silent Lord. I go wherever death is imminent. We are on the eve of war. That's why I've come, Malcolm. I follow the scent of slaughter, not you. Erebus' betrayal has stoked the fires of war, and I'm eager to see the killing begin. If we are lucky, this war will engulf the entire region. Do you know anything about the words of power, Grimnor? I have not heard of anything of these words, Malcolm, though I once lived with my clan in the mountains to the north. You used to live in this region? Long ago, my dwarf clan dwelt in the Dragon Mountains, though when Bruner Battlehammer reclaimed Mithril Hall, we left to join the others of our kind who flocked to his banner. At night, great worms could often be seen soaring in over the moonlit skies. There were many legends of the horde these winged serpents guarded, and many rumors of mighty artifacts that could be found within. I do not specifically recall mention of the words of power, but I can only assume such a powerful item would likely be found in a dragon's lair. If you wish, Malcolm, I would gladly join with you to seek out these words of power. I have no doubt our partnership will result in the scourge of death throughout this land. Alright, let's join up.
Is there something you need?
Let's just talk. And also talk about Erebus' betrayal of you, because that's the most important plot point in this entire game. I have mixed feelings about the Paladin's actions. They say she was driven to her betrayal by the execution of her lover. She couldn't accept his death, and it drove her mad with grief and a desire for revenge. As a member of the Order of the Long Death, her reaction to the inevitable events seems rather childish. The Silent Lord comes for us all. We might as well learn to accept it. Accepting death is one thing. Having your lover hung right in front of you is something else. Would she have felt better had her lover had his entrails removed by a hungry troll? Or had his limbs ripped from their sockets by an angry giant? Perhaps she would have been less angry if had a slow-acting poison drawn him into sleep from which he would never awaken. Death is death, Malcolm. My order seeks to help the world understand this. So you disapprove of what she has done. The motives for her actions seem foolish to me, but the results are pleasing. She has brought war to the north. Thousands will die painful, shrieking deaths beneath the blades she has unleashed. The Silent Lord is eager to feast upon the table Erebeth has set for him, and while death gorges itself on the soldiers and civilians alike, I will be present to bear witness to my master's gluttony. That's a horrible thing to say. You only say that because you do not comprehend the mysteries of the Silent Lord. If you understood the truth of death, you would not find my words so terrible. As a monk of the Long Death, I was subject to the rituals and ceremonies that brought a true appreciation for that which others fear in their ignorance. Torture, pain, suffering, and even death itself. These things are beautiful. I kill when I have to, Grimnor, but I doubt I'll ever see anything beautiful in it. You bring destruction wherever you go, Malcolm. Your motives may be good or evil, but that makes no difference. Death is forever by your side. The Silent Lord has placed his mark upon you. If I could share the experience of my initiation, you might begin to glimpse some small hint of what death truly means. The only pure, absolute truth in an imperfect existence. So enlighten me. Tell me about your Order's rituals. No, Malcolm. Now is not the time. Eager as you are, I'm afraid you are not ready for the wisdom I would share. Perhaps later I will speak more. Right, well, I could do the other two now, but I'll just put a cut in here. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time.